Hello, good morning. Welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have two blended Scotch whiskies. The first is Ballantine's Finest blended Scotch whiskey, blended and bottled in Scotland. George Ballantine and Son, Dumbarton, Scotland, product of Scotland. This distillery was founded in 1827. And this particular brand, Ballantine's Finest, was introduced in 1910. There's the big handle bottle, $27.99 at Total Wine and More. I think I paid it $26.99. The price went up. George Ballantine. It's owned by Chivas Brothers today. So it's a Chivas Brothers brand. Look on the website for Chivas Brothers. I think it's chivasbrothers.com. All right. Nice brown bottle. Brown protects it from the light. No age statement. Now the competitor with the cream colored cap is Inver House. Inver House green plaid, very rare Scotch whiskey. Well, in Louisiana, it is very rare. Only Dorgnac sells it. $11.99 for the liter. $11.99 for a liter. A blend of superbly light, 100% rare Scotch whiskies distilled and blended in Scotland. And it looks like the label has never changed since 1960 when it was introduced. There is there's the crest showing a castle, two lions, and water. Guess because Scotland is on an island. Product of Scotland. There's three countries on the island of Great Britain. Scotland at the top, England at the bottom, and Wales on the side of England. Scotland is a kingdom, England is a kingdom, Wales is a principality. They have a prince, the Prince of Wales. All right, product of Scotland. There's the green plaid. There is a company called Inver House Distilling. I could bring the website up and talk about it, but they don't list this as one of their brands. Nowhere listed. So apparently it's for U.S. export only, and they don't show it on their website. And but that's it. Now it's bottled in Illinois by Barton Imports. So there's no website listing for it. I know it's aged 3 years because it says on the bottle, aged 3 years. That's all I know. Introduced 1960. Now, Ballantines, they say, oh, we have not changed the recipe since 1910, 111 years ago. Well, there's one little problem. It used to be 86 proof. I can prove that. But now it's 80 proof. So something changed. The recipe didn't miraculously become 80 proof from 86 proof with no changes. So we have that evidence. What that is on the bottle. Smudge. I'm going to have to get that off, but I don't have to do it now. All right. So B for Ballantine. Won't you be my Ballantine? All right. That's enough of that. Built-in pour, metal cap. There's also a Ballantine 12-year and a Ballantine 17-year, but I've not seen those around. I'd like to get them, though. And there's probably more than that, but, you know, these companies, they'll show you what they want to show you, and then they have these other ones that they don't show you, but that you might just run across somewhere. All right, Barton, Inver House green plaid. Good, perfect pour. Even. That doesn't happen too often, but it happened today, this morning at dawn. I could open the shade and the blinds to show the dawn coming in, but it's too cold outside. It's 42 degrees, and that's insulating it. So I'll just use the lamp, artificial light. See what happens tomorrow morning. We had a good, this one's a little lighter. Inver House a little bit lighter, and the Ballantines a little bit darker. Do they have color added? Well, they might. Are they chill filtered? Well, they could be. They probably are on both cases, but we don't know. We know they're blended, which means it's a blend of grain whiskeys or grain neutral spirits, as they call it in America. But the difference is in America, in the US of America, the grain spirits are unaged. They're raw. They just distill it, filter it, and blend it in with the straight whiskey, and you got it. In Canada, Ireland, and Scotland, they're required to age the grain spirits for at least 3 years in wooden barrels, oak barrels, and then it doesn't have to be oak. I don't believe it. They could use cherry wood or whatever, but they use oak usually. And after 3 years, it's now whiskey. And then the taste comes from the single malt that they blend in. Usually about 20% of it is single malt whiskey, just like in the United States, it's 20% bourbon. But so that's the difference, the aging. So in those 3 countries, the grain alcohol has to be aged at least 3 years. In the United States, the grain alcohol doesn't have to be aged even 3 minutes. Now, listen, are they allowed to age? Let's say an American company wanted to make blended whiskey and they wanted to age the whiskey 3 years. The grain spirits, they took neutral grain spirits or grain neutral spirits, depending on who's writing it, which is almost invariably corn. Doesn't have to be corn. Let's say it was. Well, what if the company wanted to age it for 3 years or 2 years and then blend it with straight bourbon? Would that be allowed? Yeah, it would be allowed. There's no restriction against it. It's just that they are allowed to use unaged grain spirits, which is a lot cheaper because time is money. So they don't age it. They get it, they do it the cheapest way. And that's why you can get blended whiskey in the United States for $4.99 in some stores, and definitely $5.99. Less than $6 for a full bottle. You can get a handle for $11.99. That is a fact because I saw it at CVS Pharmacy. 1,750 milliliter bottle of Grand Legacy American blended whiskey for $11.99. That's about as cheap as it. But it's not as cheap because I can go to Walmart and get blended Canadian whiskey for $10.96 a handle. $10.96. That is not a joke. Now, is it great whiskey? I think we know the answer to that question by the price I just quoted. Now, these are going to be close, so I don't know. What's better, Inver House or Ballantine's? Well, Ballantine's is more famous. They got more marketing money behind them because they're owned by Chivas Brothers, so there's a lot more ability to market the product. Inver House, you're not going to see any radio ads, magazine advertisements, television commercials. You might go to a liquor store and see a point of sale, like this month only, Inver House for whatever price with some cardboard, the little displays. Beyond that, no. You're not going to see any ads. So that smells like sweet grain, distilled grain. What about peat? What about smoke? What about all the luxurious Scottish characteristics that we think of when we think of Scotch whiskey? No. Now with this one, okay, there might, and might is the operative word at this moment, there might be a little bit of peat. But you got to really search for it, so it's actually not even worth talking about. So let's go with the taste. Sean Lewis says, hi, good morning, Toledo, Ohio. Smiley face and a wave. Well, good morning to you, and thanks for watching from Ohio. I know it's colder than 42 over there. Well, this tastes like grain. That's alcohol. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. Sweet grain. Not that different than breakfast cereal. You know, the unsweetened breakfast cereal. Not breakfast cereal that's loaded with sugar. I don't mind those. I don't eat it all the time, but no, it just tastes like grain. It's simple. It's basic. You say, what about the smoke? Forget it. What about the peat? Forget it. Does it have a little bite to it? Yes, it does. It's a little sharp. It's not too refined. It's a little raw, a little rough. You say, well, what do you expect for $27.99 a handle bottle? Well, that's about what I expect. Does it meet expectations, like Peter LaFrance would say on his beer channel? Well, yeah, it meets expectations because I wasn't expecting much. I'm not going to say it's bad. It doesn't taste bad. 99.9% of the people that buy it are going to use it as a mixer. Going to mix it with RC Cola and eat a ham sandwich with it. You know what I mean? It's not going to be too developed as far as what people are going to use it for. Now this one here, all right. It's got some sharp edges, yes. It's not the smoothest whiskey. It's a little bitey. Get some wood toothpicks and all, but it does have a little peat. Not really smoke, but a little peatiness, like that compost kind of thing. They both have that little honey note and grain, a lot of grain. I bet you these are both at least 80%. Well, they can. I don't know if they can be higher than 80%. In the US, you can't go higher than 80% grain spirits or grain whiskey, as they would say in Scotland or Canada, because of the aging factor. Well, you can go higher than 80% in the USA, but then the classification changes. Then you got what they call spirit whiskey, if it's less than 20% straight whiskey. I know some brands that they sell. I know some places that sell it, and some of it's expensive, like Rebecca Creek Spirit Whiskey, like $20-something for a bottle. I don't know why you would pay that much for something that's almost all grain spirits, but some people buy it. I guess they like it. I can't judge it because I never had it, you know, so I can't pass judgment on something I've not tried. But it just seems a little overpriced for something so minimal. Or something that seems to be so minimal. There's a French blended whiskey they sell at Walmart called Bastille 1789. Yep, they make French blended whiskey. Is it any good? I don't know. I never had it. Is it cheap? No, it's like $23. Is it worth buying? I cannot comment on that. It's very light. It's so pale. It looked like they didn't add any color into it, and they're not obligated to add color into it. Wayne Franklin, good morning, Jay. Good morning to you. Sean Lewis says, you watched the game today, Michigan versus Ohio State. I do plan to watch it. Well, if my friend David comes over and wants to do beer reviews, I won't be able to watch the whole thing, but I would like to watch it. Who's going to win? Hard to say. Doesn't Michigan usually ruin Ohio State's season at the end? I'm neutral because I don't have any particular favoritism or ill feeling toward either team. Michigan, they're a team. You know, they play. Now, my uncle's wife would be pulling for Michigan because she graduated from the University of Michigan. Ohio State, yeah, I mean, if the Ohio State wins, fine. I've been to 2 games involving Ohio State. I went to a game in 1988. It was Ohio State at Louisiana State in Baton Rouge, and it ended in a tie. I sat in the south end zone. That was kind of a weird game. I won't go into it now. And I went to the Sugar Bowl one time when it was Ohio State playing against Miami, University of Miami, back when University of Miami was powerful. I want to take that back. I've been to 3 games against Ohio State because I went to Ohio State versus Texas A&M in the Sugar Bowl. And my friend got sick. He was feeling ill. And I said, well, we had free tickets too. I said, you'll feel better, but he didn't. He kept feeling bad. So we left it right in the 3rd quarter, which I was aggravated about. But I mean, he was ill. I'm not going to say, you must stay here. Then I went to Miami and Ohio State. I believe that's who it was. And that was a good game. I got free tickets to that. It was, I didn't care who won. I was just sitting up there watching and saying, oh, okay. Message retracted. I wish I could retract every message I had, every statement I've made, but too late. Not every statement I made. Certain statements I've made, you know what I mean? Well, this one has a little more honey, sweetness. Tastes a little nicer. I think it's the Ballantines. So is Ballantines a little better? Yeah, it's a little better. Let's see what the price would be per liter. Let's see. 27.99 divided by 1750 times 1000. $16. That's what I thought. $16. That's what my Thurns has it for. 16 for the regular size bottle. 12 and 16. Okay, so $4 more. Is the Ballantines really $4 better per liter bottle if we use that size? Oh, yes, I believe it is. I think $4 would be a good, it's working out even. Perfect. It's like perfect. It smells a little bit better. It tastes a little bit better. And it costs a little bit more, but not much more. I like to see Michigan win. Well, I hope they do. And for your sake. But, like I say, I can't say I'm favoring a team when I really actually don't favor a team. Now, some people tell me I can't watch a game if I'm not pulling for a team. I say, well, I can. I just watch it. Just look. And I'll say, oh, well, like last night, I was watching North Carolina State in North Carolina. I didn't care who won. North Carolina came back and won. North Carolina State came back and won. I was just watching it. I got sleepy and I turned it off. But I mean, it was, interesting. The people over there in North Carolina were all excited. Yay! They were cheering. Stadium was packed. It was in Raleigh, North Carolina, home of North Carolina State. I've been there before, at the Greyhound bus station, at least. All right. So we're going to give the victory to Ballantines. It is Ballantines. Haha, got it. Good. So I've gotten it correct twice. But the first one was luck because I didn't really know which one was which. I couldn't really tell them apart. I just happened to grab B and I had it. But in this case, I really was sure and I got it. But I'm gonna take the win. Like they say, you take a win any way you can get it. Well, cheating doesn't count, but I didn't cheat. So Ballantine, is it any kind of great product? Not really, but is it okay? Yeah, it's okay. It's fine, it's fine. Let's see what's coming up next. Another Sazerac product. It'll be what is the next one? Oh yeah, Sir Malcolm. Well, now that'll be interesting. Hello from Russia. Make a review of Zhinguli beer. Zhiguli and Nexamaro. Well, I would review it, but I have to be able to get it. I've never heard of that beer. I've never seen it. I can't review what I can't get. I'd like to review everything, but I can't get everything. I can get some things. So let's see what they say about Ballantine, and then we'll try to find Inver House in the last few minutes we have. Ballantine's Finest. Not exactly popular around here, but you can get it. Color, light gold, yes. No, soft, elegant, heather, honey aromas with a hint of spice. I don't know. Soft. I guess so. Heather, I don't know what heather smells like. Some kind of underbrush. Honey. Yeah, I said the honey on the first, go back and watch the video. When I said on the aroma, I say honey. Spice, maybe. Taste, a balance of subtle, sweet flavors like milk chocolate. No. Red apple. No. Vanilla. Maybe, but I'm saying honey, but maybe they say vanilla. You say vanilla. I say honey. But what do you want them to say? It's basic. You can tolerate it. They're not going to say that on their website. They're going to talk about how elaborate it is. And they got videos showing the master blender. Oh, this stuff is so exquisite. It's really great. That's why it's $27.99 a handle, because it's just unbelievable. Okay, yeah. All right. Fresh and floral aftertaste that creates a rounded glow. But to be fair, the people that make Ballantine probably know a lot more about whiskey than I do. They obviously know a lot more, so they might appreciate it more than me. I don't hate it. It's fine. I like it. I don't. It's in the B range. It's not in the A range. I think I said that when I did my solo review. I might have given it a 90. It's kind of like Chivas Regal, which costs a lot more, but Chivas is no better. 12 years. They aged that 12 years, and it's so bland. Now the Chivas Regal Mitsunara, hey, wait, that's no joke. That is good, but it's also a lot more expensive. It's more like $48 a bottle. If you're lucky, you're probably going to pay more like 50 something. But I got it for, well, I'll tell you the price later when you won't believe it. It says founded in 1964, but I know that the Inver House whiskey came out in 1960. I know the first trademark was used in 1960. So I don't know. I don't understand the story, but it might have been a brand that became a distillery. Founded in 1964, Inver House Distillers is the group's wholly owned Scotch subsidiary. What group? International Beverage Holdings of Thailand. Within its portfolio, there are 5 distilleries. Okay, I get it now. Inver House is not a distillery. It's a distiller's company. It's a conglomerate of 5 distilleries. Pulteney, Ballblair, Knockdhu, Speyburn, and Balminock, each producing its own distinctive individual single malt whiskey. Okay. Well. I now understand. Inver House Distillers was established as a subsidiary of the American company Publicker Industries, and then they sold out. Okay. There's a whole history here, which I'm sure nobody's interested in hearing about. Inver House Distillers Limited, Moffat Distillery, Rough Rig Road, Airdrie, Lancashire, Scotland, United Kingdom. Well, that's complicated. Our brands. Let's look at some of the brands really fast. Blended Scotch. Well, I'm not going to, there's so many different types. There's non-alcoholic drinks, other alcoholic drinks, beers, Chinese spirits, white spirits, blended Scotch, single malt, Thai spirits. Here's their blended. Cato's, Hankey Bannister, and MacArthur's, none of which I've ever seen in my life, in real life, but I might run across it today. Who knows? All right, I got to go watch the news. Hello from Kevin Johnston says, have a great day. I'm getting home from work. Is Ballantine sold commonly? Yes, it is. In Louisiana, can't speak for other states, but it's common in Louisiana. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to watch the news. Ballantine's wins. Valentine's.